OCE FNCS champion Volx was banned for teaming in a solo cash cup, and due to Epic's rules, any ban that's over 14 days or more means this player will also be banned from this season's FNCS and potentially the next. Unfortunately for Volx, this means that he's not going to be able to participate in the FNCS Invitational, which is the first Epic hosted LAN in 3 years. But should he even have been banned in the first place? Well, let's take a look at the evidence.
Oh, you f***ing scum.
Oh.
Sorry. Hey, that's your head though. I really wanted that bush. I was going for the big there, bro. What happened to that big?
Was my spear big? I grappled over like 2 seconds ago, bro.
So as you can see, Volx and Pumpkin are in the same call. They're both trying to rotate to the same spot. Pumpkin is already there, however Volx then takes a shot and then obviously realizes that it's Pumpkin because he made a sound in call. Now after his Twitch chat says that he's been teaming, he justifies this, that he would never have taken this fight regardless of who it was.
Like, why would I fight? I'm mid-map. There's a guy right there.
He shot me, bro. He shot me.
I was clearing the bush.
But following that, there is definitely another instance of them giving each other information. You can see that when this not ideal zone pops, Pumpkin says that he is rotating, which then for Volx, he already knows there's no one in front of him, which means he can rotate as well.
And I'm off!
Are you joking?
But I'm like, nah, I won't need surge or anything. No point sitting. Ow.
Oh, kid.
Armor.
Now, of course, they shot each other on rotate, and in all honesty, this is because they were not teaming in what you would call a traditional fashion. They didn't sit here and plan to go into this position, to not fight each other, to then tag and shoot each other on rotate. Clearly, this was not some sort of premeditated teaming plan to try and do well in the Cash Cup, even though they came second and third respectively. The problem is that they were just in a call giving each other information, be it intentional or not, when they should not have been, as this is a bannable offense. Now, the examples that we've shown didn't really impact the gameplay at all. Volx would have never ended up fighting that player that was mid-map. He maybe even still would have rotated at the exact same time because it was just an early rotate, which was pretty free. However, back in 2020, Epic made a blog about competitive integrity and signaling, as they called it, and it was very clear that sending or receiving signals, both verbal and non-verbal, to communicate with opposing players was a bannable offense. So again, they didn't really benefit from this in terms of the way that they played, but they shouldn't have been in a call if they're in the same game at all. The problem is this has become very common amongst top level players, whether it's whatever region, whether it's streamed, whether it's not. A lot of these players are talking to each other, and obviously Epic sees this as a big problem. And quite frankly, the 14-day ban that was applied to both Volx and Pumpkin was deserved. And it's 100% stupid because they should not have been in that call to start with. Because they didn't plan to team, it just ended up them being banned because of it. Now, when I saw that Volx had been banned from an NA East comp report tweet in the morning, it hadn't been confirmed by Volx yet that he wasn't going to the Invitational. However, he did later make a tweet describing what had happened, his own perspective on the event, the ban, and unfortunately it does seem to be confirmed that he is not going. But there's a really big negative impact to him not going to the FNCS Invitational. Firstly, OCE has a large viewership, and now these players are not going to be able to root for the best team for their own region, which of course would be Volx and Looter. Volx is pretty much one of, if not the best player on that region, and him no longer going means that this player base does not have their best player to root for, which is a massive loss. So OCE as a whole isn't being properly represented. Their skill level will not actually be shown because the best team isn't going to be there. Looter will still be going, but he will be going with one of the backup picks that I think he gets to choose between, and we'll come back to that in a second. But when I saw the lineup of players, I actually was really excited to watch Volx and Looter play on the international stage because I think they're one of the few small region teams who can actually perform against the best of the best from the bigger regions like EU and NA East. At the end of the day, for an invitational LAN event, I want to see the best players from every region going against the other best players from other regions. I want to be able to have storylines of which region is the best, which region sucks, is that OCE? And this does not help develop those storylines at all. And to further that, it's an invitational event. It's not like there was a strict qualification process at all. They really just took the top X teams and invited a bunch of other players on top of that. So I really don't see this as a strict, oh, we need to follow the rules to ensure this player qualified correctly. Oh, now he's been banned. Let's kick him out. They can just do whatever they want for this event. It's an invitational. Invite who you want. And I think they should invite Volx still. There are a lot of downsides to not having OCE's best player at an international event already, and I really think that it's a pretty minor ban that he's gotten and that this can be overlooked for the invite spot. And the next question is, where does this leave his duo Looter? Well, Looter now has to choose between some of the backup players that are invited anyway in case players can't make it. So my boy Boop has pulled together this list of all of the different backup players who are still available to be picked. Guys like Andlex stand out like a sore thumb as one of EU's best players, and honestly probably an easy pick assuming that language barriers don't get in the way, because Andlex is of course French and Looter is Australian, so hopefully Andlex knows how to swear. But do you guys think Volx should not be allowed at the Invitational? That's the big question. I think he should, but after you've liked the video, let me know your opinion.